Hey guys, that ends really quick. I should know.
It does. You have to count the beats.
I know. I was just kind of like spacing off and thinking, oh, what am I going to say first? And then it was like, oh, and I hadn't decided yet. So, hey guys,
Welcome.
yeah, welcome to another Roses Are Red podcast. Continuing our Masturbation Month ode with Killer Kinks and Cocktails. Tonight we've got a doozy for you. I'm really excited. AC's gonna, we're both gonna talk about it, but AC brought the idea of Jack Parsons, who was very instrumental in kind of the early developments of NASA, meaning they had a program that eventually was the blueprint for, research for NASA. And then, but it was also in the occult, which it's kind of crazy. I'm really excited to hear all about it and go through it. I mean, I've studied it a bit too, but it's going to be a really fun night. Again, Rose is out, with due to some, personal things, family things that she needs to be with, and that's great. Great that we can take over and help out when she can't be here. We do miss her dearly, though. So,
Dearly.
Rose, you're in our prayers, and can't wait till you can come back and we can all be one happy family again. So
I got Joel choked up. Rose is in our thoughts constantly. She really is. She's
every
in our
day.
thoughts constantly. And can you hear me better? Want to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Rose is in our thoughts constantly, and we're so sorry that these things are happening that take you away from the show. But no one understands better than we do, and especially Sam.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, right? You put that together.
Yes.
But we love you very much.
We do.
Right? We love Rose. So stay strong, homegirl, and we got you. And
we do.
If you need a little break, stop in,
Yeah.
So it's hard to be there but not be there.
Yeah.
Like be there for somebody and be like, hey, whatever you need. But
no, I get it. I mean, my heart is completely with her right now, and hoping there's some answers soon for them. So,
Anywho. We love you, Rose. So tonight is.
I'm so excited.
I was excited. Yeah, I was excited because I brought it I think Monday of this week. I was like, guys,
I've got it. Perfect.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got intrigue, right? It's got crime. It's got science. I love it. It's got learning, right? Yeah. It's got smart people in it. It's got the occult. It's got
and we love a good occult. We do.
We love a good cult, and we love a good occult, and we love a good seance and a good right?
Yeah.
Right? We love all that, right?
We do.
Yeah, when I close my eyes, this is what I see.
I was talking to my mom, and I was telling her about we were talking about when we were talking about last week, why can't I remember the guy we talked about last week?
Last week we talked about the vegan strip club owner.
No, yeah, but the other one that we did, the old case.
He did the Night Stalker.
Yes, the Night Stalker.
Richard Ramirez.
Yes, why couldn't I but I was talking about I was talking to my mom about, because as I often do, she goes, "Oh, how was your show?" and all the things, and we were kind of talking about that and the Night Stalker, and how it was funny to me that really Satanism isn't a thing. I mean, it is a thing, but it's been brought out there more, especially like when I mean in the 80s, Satanists, they're worshiping the devil and all the things, but typically it's not as prevalent as one would have thought. Back when we were kids and being especially for me going to a Christian school, being afraid of it, right? And even the Church of Satan and all that, really they're atheists that really don't worship the devil. They're just, it's a tongue-in-cheek or trolling, as you said. And my mom's like, I don't know about that. I'm like, Mom. She's also very staunch Christian. Not that I'm, whatever. But I'm like, Mom, I think you need to research it just a little bit. But it was funny. She was like, no, I think it's more prevalent. I'm like, no, I don't think so, Mom.
It's not. And
we like to,
romanticize it and want to use it as a boogeyman.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing. Like, no. Hey, and as far as it goes, no one wants to be a Satanist, and no one wants to know one, because if you think of Satanists and you think of, what are Satanists? Pagans.
Right.
And pagans are basically old school druids from the fucking forest. So it's not like, what made you a witch, and I've said this many times on the show, what made you a witch, and I think we talked about this during the Salem witch trials episode and all that. What made you a witch is that you made your own holistic shit. Yeah. Like you made your own stuff, and everything was in house, and you didn't have to rely on the church to tell you, okay, do 40 Hail Marys, and then you'll be better. And then you'll be better. Oh my gosh. And then like, no, maybe we'll make some fucking potions that are roots and berries, and maybe then that, it actually works, right? Because some things have holistic properties, and medicinal properties from herbs and plants and things that you find in your garden, in your habitat, that's going to help you, I don't know, feel better, actually get the inflammation down.
Early scientists.
Right. Actually make a tea that will settle your stomach. Actually. Exactly. Right. These are actual things, right? So if you really go back and think about what a pagan is, and then what a Satanist is, words are hard.
Words are hard.
These are the things that we come up with. When did these things come about? Like, come on, like,
right. And a lot of times it comes up if it is going against what the church says, then obviously it's Satanism, or witches, or whatever it is.
If you say anything about Gaza today, you are a anti-Semite.
Right. Yep.
Right. Yep. If you say anything about the church, you are a Satanist. It's just like a black and white kind of a thing. It's just something to cut off your talking points at the hilt. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. There's nothing else to talk about if you're a Satanist.
Right.
And then you're like, wait a minute, that I had a whole bunch of points that didn't have anything to do with Satan, and I was about to tell you a bunch of stuff. It's like, well, no, sorry. Everyone now knows you're a Satanist, and then they get louder, right. And then the mob Satan, and then everything is and
you have like, pitchforks, and people are being burned at the stake.
you cut the tape, and you're on a pyre. You're burning on a pyre.
Or they're trying to, see if you float. They're drowning you,
Right. And that's a witch and a warlock that I think I saw the stat that there was a couple of warlocks actually burned. And there was no burning, actually. There was more stone. There was more stoning and that's things like
barbaric.
That.
Yes.
Yes, so barbaric to be like, what are you making? Is that a potion? Witch?
Well, it's funny how ironic how much how much I had it in my fucking head. Words are fucking hard. How much evil is done in the name of your God.
Any religion.
Yeah.
And how far you're willing to take it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the stat is that more people have died by the hands of God than anyone else in the world, because if it's my,
look at the Crusades, for fuck's sakes.
That's it. Do you believe in God? Yes. Do you believe in my God?
No. Oh, you're dead.
You will now die. If anybody wants to know firsthand what that looks like, if you want to just dip your toes into the Crusades, check out a movie with Orlando Bloom called Kingdom of Heaven. Also, Edward Norton's in that movie. He's behind a mask. He's the King of Jerusalem. I would most definitely watch that immediately. It's a beautiful movie that is probably one of the last gorgeous movies ever done. Kingdom of Heaven. Okay,
that's on my list now.
I might have to look it up and show you the poster.
Yeah.
Talk about the Crusades and talk about the Jesuit knights that would execute this like mandate from heaven, right? But who really owns Jerusalem? And who really owned it back then? And
right.
We know who owns it now, but like that's from thousands and thousands of years of fighting for something I don't wholeheartedly understand. I have a broad look at it. Like I've looked at it, but not to the
right
scholar level. So like but I would say check out the movie Kingdom of Heaven. It's, aside from being a movie buff's movie, it's also very informative as to as to what happened back then, who did what they did, what people did in the name of God. Because everybody was like, for God,
right.
Jeremy Irons is in that movie.
Oh, really?
It's phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah. So we say that to kind of set the table for Satanism,
yes.
Right. And what people did for God, what people did for, I don't think there was an army of Satan.
No.
And I don't think there was an army of like dark knights with like dark, with like horns and like we were killed for Satan, right. Like seizing kingdoms and taking over fiefdoms. Like I don't think that was a thing.
I don't think so.
So we are kind of 0 for 1 there with God versus Satan. So yeah, we say that so if people don't understand a little bit about what's going on with Satan, there's so much more. But we're talking about maybe modern Satanism a little more, and it's not that this is completely about Satanism, because I'll tell you why. It's not. So Aleister Crowley.
Seriously, AC, I said this to you off air. Mr. Crowley has been in the Ozzy Osbourne song has been in my fucking head all fucking day. It's still, and I actually had to go, did he actually write this about him? He did. He did.
Of course he did. Yeah. That's his song.
It's such a good song too, actually.
I want to bring up his face so you guys see who we're talking about. And then we'll talk a little bit about Jack Parsons. Well, a lot of it about Jack Parsons.
A lot of it.
And to preface this a little bit, to keep you guys interested in what we're talking about. Hello. Let's see. Who doesn't love a good culting? It's true.
I love when we do stories about cults.
Who doesn't love it?
They're kind of my favorite lane. I mean, I love all of the true crime that we do, but when we get a good cult story, that's what floats my boat. That's what gets my motor running.
There's got to be crime in it.
Well, most cults have some sort of criminal activity to them.
What? You're a racist.
I am not.
I don't even know what that means.
I am the furthest thing.
You're a racist for saying, okay? You're some cyst. You're a cyst for that. Because, okay, what are you going to tell me? The FLDS was doing a crime?
Yeah.
Maybe they were with 13-year-old brides. Maybe you're right.
Yeah. What about the indentured servants of Scientology?
The billion-year contract you signed with the Sea Org.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. All right, maybe not. All right. Well, what about Waco? Nothing was going on in Waco.
Oh, nothing ever.
Fuck. Okay, 0 for 3. What about Jim Jones? Jim Jones. Oh, fuck. Shit. All right. Well, cults are not doing too good so far.
Nope, they're not. They are not.
Fine. Well, let's talk about how Aleister Crowley, who he is, what the man stood for, and then how he touched, for lack of a better word, Jack Parsons enough to follow him as a mentor, and then bring it into what we now know. And let me absolutely blow your mind, because you didn't think we were going to talk about this tonight. NASA and the Jet Propulsion Labs and the Alamo, well, first of all, the Nevada test site, and then the San Alamos test center, where he did a lot of tests for stuff that we do every day. And for the most part, thank you, Jack.
Oh my gosh. Some of his discoveries in the world of jet propulsion and fuels and things. I mean, just from his were groundbreaking. I mean, they helped the U.S. military in World War II and all the things. You know what I mean? Was it World War II? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. But the science part of it, I was like, oh my God, I am in for this. This is, this guy's amazing. He's groundbreaking. And then the cult comes in.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about Sir Aleister Crowley.
Mr. Crowley. Oh, sorry. I can't help it. I cannot help it.
Sing us there.
I cannot help it.
So,
he looks like a cult leader.
He does.
Yeah.
When you think about it, he totally is. And then, obviously, a couple of books.
Why magic with a K? Is it
because that's his brand.
His brand of magic?
His brand of magic. So
Got
let's look at what the normies would look at, right? The normies would look at.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, oh, you're just looking at fucking Wikipedia. No, we look at a lot of stuff. But we'd like to start with the normie stuff because we like to see what's on the surface. Then we'll dig, right?
Yeah, that's what we do.
So Aleister Crowley, look at this motherfucker. Aleister Crowley, Edward Alexander Crowley, right? Look at him. It's kind of like the thing that I do all the time.
Real quick, Allie said, Uncle Fester looking mofo.
For real.
He does look like Uncle Fester.
For real. So he's like, all right. I look like this already. Winston Churchill ass motherfucker. So, Winston Churchill. I got myself. Thank you. So, Edward Alexander Crowley, right? That's the guy's name. Was an English occultist, ceremonial magician, poet, novelist, mountaineer, and painter. He found like a Renaissance man, right?
Of course.
They
all are.
Of course. He's so fucking talented, the motherfucker.
Yeah.
So this is where I wanted to deviate and say, like, Satanism, yes, but more Thelema, right?
Yeah.
He founded the religion of Thelema, right? It's a Western esoteric and occult social or spiritual philosophy and new religious movement founded in the early 1900s by Aleister Crowley, an English writer, mystic, occultist, ceremonial magician, mountaineer, fucking,
all the things.
Toys R Us kid, the whole thing.
Yes.
So, he's known as a prophet. He self-identified himself as a prophet. He's an entrusted guy guiding with the humanity of the Aeon of Hours. What is the Aeon of Hours? It's the esoteric philosophy of Thelema, right? So it's the inner. So Thelema is the overarching thing, and then inside
basically their philosophy, from what I read, correct me if I'm wrong, is that basically you do you. Even if it's selfish or don't take into account your selfishness or your ego, whatever it takes to do to make you happy, you fucking do it, and it's okay.
Means to an end.
Right. So, yeah. So if it means, unaliving someone or essaying someone, that's fine. This is what makes you happy. So it's justified.
That's correct.
In this cult, right? That's kind of their credo, correct? Am I correct in that?
Yes, you are correct in that.
So I get what you're doing now.
I do it all the time.
Who knew that was a thing before our kids did it?
Right. No. So Thelema, you're right. Thelema is the beating heart. It's the actual new religious movement. Founded within. I'm sorry. The beating heart is the actual. The Aeon of Hours is the beating heart, right? It's found within Thelema, which is which is what we're talking about. And one of the 12 in the great year, the astrological age, right? That's going to be explained in a minute, because when we go into Thelema, and by a significant shift in spiritual and societal paradigms, emphasizing self-realization, individualism, which is what you're talking about, anything to get what you want out of life.
Yep.
So born to a wealthy family, they always are. There's never a poor, crazy
always
person, right? Royal Leamington Spa, Warwickshire Crowley, rejected his parents. He rejected his parents' faith. So they were Christian Plymouth Brethren faith, and he was like, "Fuck you, mom and dad. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's too rigid for me." So he was recruited to the British Intelligence Agency. So this is another fold, right? Mm-hmm. Further suggesting that he remained a spy all his life. So later on, we're thinking the guy's a spy, right? Because he's talking to different people. There's honeypot situations. He's a spy for the British intelligence. But that's something that typically not talked about. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about Aleister Crowley, you just skip to the Satanism part. But he's also a spy. So in 1898, he joined the esoteric Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. That sounds like a ninja.
Yeah, it really does.
It sounds like a ninja call. Like, whoa, dude, we're ninjas now.
Oh my gosh.
So the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which is an amazing fucking name for a metal band.
Right.
The Hermetic of the Golden Dawn. Oh, fuck. More commonly, the Golden Dawn was a secret society devoted to the study and the practice of occult Hermeticism and metaphysics. Hermeticism, which metaphysics during the 19th and 20th centuries, known as the magical order, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So they were magic people. Okay. They probably wore robes. You know,
yeah, I
would say that some of them were fans of the playground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he trained under a guy named Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers and Alan Bennett.
All the names, man.
Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers. Right. So he's Eminem's like fucking lineage.
Yes.
Alan Bennett was another guy that he studied under. Let's take a look at this guy. Look at Alan.
Oh, yeah.
He's not high and mystical. He does have a unibrow. Right?
Right.
And let's take a look at Liddell Mathers. Oh, of course. He's a shaman.
Of course.
Clearly, Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers looks like that. And not like this. So he went mountaineering in Mexico, and then he studied Hinduism and Buddhism. In 1904, he married Rose Edith Kelly. So imagine what he had to tell Rose to get her to marry him, right?
I find, or it seems like a lot of these cult leaders present themselves as different before they're like, it's like the old bait and switch. Like, here I am in British intelligence. I'm a good dude. And then they're like, psych, I'm a fucking cult leader.
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are rules now. So he went mountaineering in Mexico. He married Rose Edith Kelly. They honeymooned in Cairo, and then he wrote this book called The Book of the Law.
I believe I read that a lot of ancient Egyptian are rolled into this. So
a lot of the sacred text of Thelema comes from this, which is this almost a sacred text.
Yeah,
and it's referred to as the Liber Al or the Liber Al or the Liber Legis or just Al. Okay, great.
Well,
anything else? Maybe just or A or just nothing, or just say nothing, and it'll still be called up.
Right.
So the sacred text of his later religion, and then which is said to be dictated to him by a supernatural entity named Aiwas. Okay, so let's start there, right? Yeah. So Aiwas dictated the sacred text from the Al.
At least it wasn't a fever dream. That's all.
It could have been. It could have been. It sounds like the fever dream of a madman.
Yes.
So after the unsuccessful 1905 Kachinjunga expedition, okay, it's a visit to India and China, Crowley returned to Britain. All the boys went over to India in an expedition, didn't they?
Yeah.
They're looking for the Bengal tiger, weren't they? So, I mean, he was prolific at poetry, and he was a prolific author in literature. In 1907, he and George Cecil Jones co-founded the esoteric order of the AA, right? A::, however you say that, right? Yeah. And it's a magical organization, always magical.
Always.
Magical organization, always magic. And it was him and it was the first organization like that by a Western esoteric, and its members are dedicated to the advancement of humanity by the perfection of the individual on a plane through the graded series of universal initiations. So whatever that means through Wikipedia, right? So it's a bunch of hooey and probably a bunch of guys in robes that know each other, and they're all rubbing their dicks, bro. And they're probably thinking about other shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, incantations and rituals. These are guys that like magic, bro. They're like, I wonder if these are the same kind of magic nerds back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Like Magic the Gathering.
That works too. But you ever seen a magic nerd like try to do like
oh, absolutely, yes.
Those guys are like, some guys are awesome. Some guys are like, bro, you're 38 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe not.
Yeah,
like
that rabbit died in your hat years ago.
So many years. Like it's gonna pull out a skeleton of a bunny. So I wonder if these guys were like seen, like as that, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're such a fucking nerd for getting together with 12 other guys and pulling your dicks and fucking.
And I wonder how much of the magic was actually just science that they didn't realize that they were doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, that's excellent. So, skipping ahead a little bit, so Crowley spent the First World War in the United States, and so where he took a painting and he campaigned for the German war effort against Britain. So how about that? Wow. He was also kind of like on the side of the Nazis. So
that tracks too.
That tracks. And his biographers later revealed that he had infiltrated the pro-German movement to assist the British intelligence services.
Wow.
Ooh, remember, he was a spy. He flipped it on you. And so, no, he wasn't, right? It tracked. It tracked because but here we go.
Right.
You know? So, in 1920, he established the Abbey of Thelema, which is a rundown house, apparently. Okay.
Well, I didn't expect that. Goodness gracious.
So a religious commune in Cefalu, Sicily, right? So he's in Italy now, in Sicily, kind of like in the island of Sicily, where he had lived with various followers. His libertine lifestyle and denunciations in the British press, and the Italian government evicted him in 1923. So get the fuck out.
No, the Pope lives like here.
He spent the following decades between France, Germany, England, and continued to promote Thelema until his death.
Okay.
We're going to talk about him, then we'll talk about Jack Parsons, then we'll kind of tie them together. Crowley gained widespread notoriety in his lifetime, being a drug user and a bisexual, okay, which is fine, and an individualistic social critic. So he was constantly, making academic papers and writing novels and poems and things about the social climate, but he was too busy getting his dick sucked by a boy or whatever to like really do anything about it other than be a spy. So the one thing he infiltrated that Nazi thing.
A lot of the times when a cult leader, when they form their cult, it's so they, especially for back then, that wasn't widely accepted, right? That was not something that was, like it is today. We're like, okay, you are, we're fine with that. But it had to be done under the cloak of secrecy or within your cult because you started this cult to make it okay, Absolutely. And then you have followers that go, yeah, this is how it should be. Now, some followers come in and they're like, whoa, that's not what I signed up for. You know what I mean?
No.
But that's usually why the cult leader started. Like, I'm not fitting into society's norms. Let me create my own norms.
I'm going to create my own society where I can be the god and I can be the jury and
I can do whatever. I can tell you what's good and what's not, what's accepted and what's not,
Well, somehow it's always accepted to marry a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Just don't get it.
What the fuck?
I just don't get it.
Jack Parsons.
Yeah. So can I tell you, I know a little bit about his beginning life, and then you can kind of take over. But so as it says here, he was born Marvel Whiteside Parsons, October 2nd of 1914. So his parents actually lived in LA, and they were part of the occult scene. They were drawn by the mystic. LA was a hotbed for that back then. But his dad kind of too much, because within a couple of months of him being born, mom found out good old Marvel Senior there was running. Well, it's
continue.
Well, his parents were Marvel Parsons, and I believe her name was Ruth. Ruth
together they made the Avengers.
Yes. So old Marvel Senior was stepping out on little Miss Ruthie there, and she was like, "Fuck you, dude! Get the fuck out of mine and now John's life," because she's like, "You don't even get he doesn't even get your name anymore."
Jack.
Well, yeah. Well, it's John and. legally, and then they call him Jack. So I never understood why Jack was a short or a nickname for John. I don't know.
It's the same letters. It's the
same.
I don't fucking
You're
get
not
it.
shortening anything.
Yeah, like why was it Jack? Yeah, Jack Kennedy. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. So
if anybody knows, let us know.
She said get to Steppen, kicked him out of their lives physically, and then also changed Jack's name to John Whiteside Parsons instead of Marvel Whiteside Parsons. She was like, he doesn't even get your name now. Then Ruth and Jack moved in with her parents in a very nice area of Pasadena. By age 12, Jack had met his lifelong friend, Edward Foreman, and they started making rockets. They were making them out of aluminum, cherry bomb.
This kid's really smart, right?
Yeah, he's fucking smart as shit. However, he is at the risk of flunking out of grade school at this point. So what does good old Ruthie do? She decides to put him in
teacher.
No. Damn. She sends him to military school in San Diego. They call it the West Point of the West. And old Jackie boy decides to blow up some toilets and he gets expelled. So then he comes back home and he continues to do his experiments with little Ed Foreman there. And because of going through the Great Depression, his family had suffered some losses. They were pretty well to do. So he has to get a job. Well, he gets a job at a fucking power. What is it called? Basically he gets to work around gunpowder and munitions every fucking day. So on his off time, he's experimenting with Ed, and he's stealing some, gunpowder and shit so they can build their rockets. And in the meantime, they, going forward, they're now in college age, and they meet Frank Molina. He is an engineer at Caltech. And
Caltech is going to be a big part of this.
Yes,
this story.
Huge part. So Ed and Jack were attending a public lecture held by Caltech, and they met Frank. Well, Frank was very impressed by them, and he introduced them to his senior professor, which is what's his name? It should be there. It's not. I have it written down. He introduces him to his professor. Professor goes, fuck yeah, you guys are all fucking smart. We are going to let you go to the Guggenheim Astronautical Laboratory, or GALSIT for short. And now you have this rocket research group. You guys have carte blanche. Theodore von Karman. Sorry, there it is. That is the professor. And they are like, you can experiment and do whatever the fuck you want. Now, because they kind of made GALSIT, their laboratory kind of like a bachelor pad, right? When they weren't blowing shit up, right. They would opine about their socialist beliefs. They would smoke pot. They drink in excess. And I mean, they were just having a good old time. Because of so many explosions, the students of Caltech called them the Suicide Squad.
All right, let's play a little video. I think I found kind of where you are in the story, and to see if
I was trying to get through most of that quickly so we can talk about the cult shit. So
we will.
Yeah.
He never actually made it to college. It wasn't necessary for him to go to college to follow his dream. He was kind of creating the dream as he went along.
Jack didn't go to college per se, but he lived right next to Caltech.
The California Institute of Technology attracts the finest science and engineering minds in America. Parsons is.
Yeah. Where'd it go?
So yeah. Just a little bit. I don't want to leave,
Well, right.
Long, but did that make sense?
Yeah. No, he does all the things. He's meeting the right people. He's doing the right things. He meets his first wife during this time. In all of this, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy. But he is kind of living his dream. He's working there at Galset and taking chemistry classes at night at USC, but he never really finishes college because he doesn't really have to.
Didn't have to. He's super smart.
He was smart enough to where he's like, and this is at the time where, okay, let's be real. Right now, if somebody was this smart and never went to college, he'd never have they'd be like, nope, you're good. You know what I mean? We are never going to hire you. We're not going to let this happen. You know, he couldn't even get a foot in the door.
Right.
He was like, I've been doing this shit since I'm 12. You know?
You mentioned the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Check this out.
Shut down. There'd be noxious gases floating over the campus.
The Suicide Squad is forced off campus into an iron shed at Devil Gate Dam in the nearby Arroyo Seco Canyon.
They were working without any safety procedures at all. It was real seat-of-the-pants science.
By 1938, no one in California knows more about explosive substances than Jack Parsons. And that knowledge, combined with his movie star...
The kid was good looking. He looked like Clark Gable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He and Frank had even come up with a screenplay at one point when they were at Galset. And they were trying to sell, it was a sci-fi. He's huge into sci-fi.
Yep.
And they were trying to get it sold as a movie, but they weren't able to. So I thought that was kind of cool. Also, when he was 12, he was also doing ritualistic incantations to the devil. So his love of the occult kind of started at a very young age. And I mean, honestly, his parents really kind of probably fostered him into that. Meaning that, you know, because they went to LA for that same fucking reason. So now you can keep going, whatever you want to say. That's about.
Oh no.
know.
Yeah, that's what I know. You did great. That's exactly who he is. So let's tie it into while we kind of watch a little bit of this documentary with this on. In 1939, Parsons converted to Thelema.
Yes.
And this is what we want to talk about. Because he, from Pasadena, and after doing all that Suicide Squad stuff and the Guggenheim thing and, being the foremost jet propulsion person in the country now. He made
one real quick, and then we'll talk about Thelema. He made a solid jet fuel by mixing it with asphalt. And it was more stable, and they used it in the Second World War because
they use it to this day.
They use it to this day, yes. And Galset there was the blueprint for NASA, as you know, the beginnings of NASA as well. But yeah, that was they could put it into molds, and then they could ignite it, and it was stable, and it didn't blow up, or it blew up the way it should, but not in the way it shouldn't. If that makes sense.
Exactly right. Yeah.
All the science in this, I was like, oh my God, I'm so into this.
I love it. Yeah.
Chemistry was my fucking thing.
I love it. Good. Okay. Let me sneeze real quick.
So yeah, I mean, it was really interesting.
Woo. Okay. So so JPL, right, was the Jet Propulsion Lab. Mm-hmm. And then, as you mentioned, this person, I think you just talked about the Caltech affiliated Guggenheim laboratory.
Yes.
Was Galset was also associated with his, I hate to use the pun, but he was catapulted into
jet propulsion,
into his own thing, right?
Yes.
His own, like you said, making the solid gas, but also at the same time, he was had a double life, right? He was so smart, in fact, that he could take on several things. Number one, you could be a rocket scientist, and I didn't know you can also be a friggin' Thelema practitioner, right? So the religious movement founded by, we just talked about Aleister Crowley, and then we talked about how what this actually, what Thelema came from, which is, remember, the Book of Al, right?
Yes.
And then, just to keep everyone on their toes, And it's a lot of stuff. So historians of the Western esotericism cite him as a prominent figure, right? Simic dilemma in North America. Remember, he was here in North America, infiltrating a pro-Nazi group as a British spy. So here's another layer, right?
Right.
Stay with us. So he married his first wife, right? He married Marjorie Cameron. Okay. Marjorie Cameron Parsons, right?
I thought that was Helen first.
I'm sorry. She married Helen. Where's that? Helen Northrop. Sorry. Helen Northrop. We skipped her.
Yes.
Sorry. Right. Because, right.
Yeah, don't get Helen, to Marjorie yet.
Right. I started thinking about sex cults, and I went right to there.
Yes, I know. I knew where you're going there.
Helen Parsons, she's an American occultist. Because of Jack, and entrepreneur, book editor, publisher, all these things. Also, another very intelligent person. Mm-hmm. And check this out: a priestess of the Ecclesia Gnostica Católica de Agape Lodge of Ordo Templi Orientis in Pasadena, California.
Yes.
Do you like that?
That was amazing.
Thank you. So, and then, well, let's talk about that real quick because
so they were early on in their marriage, introduced into the Agape Lodge, or Agape Lodge, or however you want to say it. And
Agape.
Yeah, that's the white way of saying it. I'm sorry, I said it wrong.
But also because sex cult, her ass is pretty.
Right.
Agape. Thank you.
And they went to their first meeting, and then they were inducted into it. And they really started living the life, right? Parsons would often jump ahead and perform rituals higher than his grade within the cult. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was very, he was like, fuck that. I'm better than this. I'm smarter than you folks. I'm going to try this magic thing, after, and again, it promoted, not promiscuity, but freeness in that. So he ended up, dating her sister or fucking her sister. Ooh. Her sister was only 17 at the time.
Yeah, because she went away. She went somewhere for a month.
Right, and then she ended up dating one of the high priests in the cult, and then they formally filed for divorce. That was fine. They were whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty free, so don't feel bad for them or don't feel bad for her. Because by the way, I found El Ordo Templi Orientis.
That's so evil looking. It's like ominous.
Keep it there for a little bit. So that's going to be a good short.
Yes.
So please continue.
No, so I mean, basically, the libertarian spirit of the OTO was made it an accommodating home for Parsons in the days when homosexuality was illegal. The ethos of permissiveness was not merely a lifestyle at the OTO, but part of their religious practice. Parsons, who oscillated between same-sex attraction and revulsion, found the scene intriguing. So, no, he liked it. He liked being able to kind of go back and forth and having the openness, especially, I mean, back in the 40s, that wasn't really a thing. It wasn't talked about very much, however, these cults arose to make it okay. So
we aren't just reading from Wikipedia because that's of course, right? So I have the Science Institute, the one that I sent you initially, which is a phenomenal kind of like first step into this. And who knows, we're gonna have to do more. This was a huge topic. So at this point, right? He is going to go into rocketeering like in a serious level. So let's go here. So but beyond rocketry, he had darker hobbies, right? He liked the occult. Mm-hmm. At age 12, he tried summoning a demon in his bedroom.
Yep.
For some reason, he was convinced it would work. It scared the crap out of him. He swore off necromancy forever. That's something you have to do. I swear off necromancy.
I will never do necromancy ever again.
I'll never do necromancy. Okay, fine. Don't do it. between blowing up the backyard and summoning demons, Parson had a bit of a discipline problem. So in 1929, his mother sent him to a military academy. He promptly blew up a toilet there, like Sam said, but then
which I think is great.
It's awesome. I mean, it's propulsion, but the family soon had much bigger worries in Parsons' teenage rebellion. In 1929, the stock market crashed and his grandfather's fortune got wiped out. So he got kind of, that pension's gone. What do you call it?
They were on what they called Millionaire's Mile or something like that.
Yeah, Millionaire's Row. Millionaire's Row.
Yeah.
Exactly. No. And then after high school, he attended but dropped out. Right. So remember, he didn't go to college. No. And then when we're up here, we're talking about Frank Molina and the PhD and the thesis in rocketry. So socializing at the lecture. So he did some lectures back in the day, and then Parson and Foreman, the guy you were talking about, met people who eventually introduced him to Frank Molina, which is also the person you're talking about, just to recap. And then he's writing a PhD on the thesis of rocketry. Why? A little bit deeper on Molina. They asked Molina about getting access to the Caltech's resources money lab and 200-mile-an-hour wind tunnel. They also started babbling about using rockets to visit outer space and explore other planets. So now it's getting serious, right? But he's still just as crazy. Mm-hmm. So now Molina was a rare credentialed scientist who was not only studied rocketry, but he also loved thinking about space travel. So he'd been obsessed with space exploration ever since reading Jules Verne as a child. So Molina is a visionary guy, but he also has the credentials to be able to make this happen because, he's part of the system.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Parsons is extremely intelligent, but really doesn't have the papers, right?
Right.
So the trio joined forces, right? We're talking about Molina, Parsons, and his friend
Foreman.
Edward Foreman, correct. So Edward Foreman, Molina, and Parsons. So with that trio together,
they were buddies. They were true, buddies.
They were homies.
Foreman and Parsons were lifelong friends. So
absolutely, and they did some shit together.
Yeah.
So with that understanding, the trio joined forces, but despite their secrecy, they struggled to find funding, and rockets just seemed too crazy. So Molina and Parsons began writing a screenplay about the two heroic rocket scientists. They hoped to sell it as a script to a movie studio, but they used the cash to support their research. And then when that plan fizzled, Parsons began diverting every dollar he had into earning that he would earn at work into rocket equipment. Then he would also sold a bootleg nitroglycerin on the side. So he made nitroglycerin and he sold it on the side.
That's so dangerous.
Boom. If people don't know what nitroglycerin is,
so dangerous.
Watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
All right. Oh,
it's like riding a dump truck through a nitroglycerin plant. The blessing. Grace died 30 years ago.
Oh, good God.
If anybody remembers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fondly.
Grace died 30 years ago. So the trio's first tests really took place in the Mojave Desert, right out here. Mm-hmm. Amazingly, the rocketry research had barely advanced in the preceding 120 years, so almost there's no advancement whatsoever. Probably the British during 1912, rockets, red glare, and all that bullshit, but not like anything right, nothing substantial. And then, as the group's chemist, Parson focused on making the rocket fuel, and then he tried to put both solid and liquid fuels together, like we said. But then, by 1937, the liquid engines were producing. Ooh, that moved. By 1937, crap, it's up here. Oh, really? Well, I wanted to read 1937. Damn it! I want to go to 1940. Fuck. Why do you do that?
I don't know.
Anyway. So in 19. Okay, how about this? In 1939, Parsons and his wife Helen attended a so-called Gnostic Mass. Are you ready to get into this part?
Yes.
Did you read about this?
No.
All right, so a Gnostic Mass. It's pretty crazy. So here we go. So a Gnostic Mass is a rite in a religion called Thelema, which we've already talked about. So in their religion. And Aleister Crowley invented Thelema, like we said, in the 1900s, and it drew a melange of different practices from ancient Egypt, pagan rites, and Freemasonry. It was like a bunch of different things put together, like we said. So the two central aspects are magic with the K.
That's
remember?
The Crowley form of magic.
That's the Crowley brand magic. Right? Crowley brand. There's no other magic.
No.
Forget it. There's no other magic. So, Thelema, the two central aspects are Thelema and sex rituals. So that's how you make. That's how you make
magic.
Magic and sex rituals is how you make Thelema. Right.
Got
Thelema
it,
is the overarching thing, and then magic and sex rituals are the only two things inside Thelema, which is awesome. And then more like
it tracks. It totally tracks, man.
So it's more like paranormal experiences, interacting with spirits, talking to the dead, and then fucking.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, sex rituals are exactly what they sound like. In Crowley's religion, sex was considered a sacrament. So during the Gnostic Mass, now we're getting deeper into Thelema, okay? And during the Gnostic Mass, worshippers ate so-called cakes of light. Do you know what cakes of light are?
No.
What do you think cakes of light are?
I don't know shit.
You think they ate shit?
I don't know, probably. Cakes of life. I have no idea. Drugs?
You think they ate shit?
It could be drugs. I don't know. My brain went to other things. Could be drugs.
I love that. So, okay. So, right. So, cakes of light. Actually, let's look.
Is it ecstasy?
You are defiling what it is. This religion. Okay.
Okay. Well, you asked.
They're
Eucharists. What I
Eucharists.
thought it was.
They're Eucharists made of flour, honey, oil, ash, and often body fluids like semen or menstrual blood.
Oh, well, that tracks. That tracks. Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, what do you think it was going to be? After attending the Mass, Parsons and Helen grew fascinated with the religion, and Parsons even began trying magic rituals himself, and he interpreted his experiences through new science of quantum mechanics. So he saw it through the lens of science, but he was doing these like crazy rituals, right?
Yeah.
You have anything to add there before I can continue? Do you have anything to add before I continue?
No, I'm ready to hear more about the rituals.
Okay.
I think you need to tell me more about these rituals here.
Okay, sounds good. So, the typical. So after attending Mass, let's look at the rituals here. Yeah, let's continue here. So after attending the Mass, Parsons and Helen grew fascinated with the religion, and then doing the magic rituals himself. And then with typical manic enthusiasm, Parsons also began recruiting people into this new religion because, he's a magnanimous guy. He looks like Clark Gable. Like, come with me and do this stuff.
You want to fuck me, right?
You want to fuck people. His scientific colleagues all said, no, thank you. His scientific, right? So, but Parsons and Helen did recruit her half-sister Betty. And here's where the infidelity goes down, right?
It didn't seem like it bothered her all that much, though. I mean, I'm just saying.
I guess so.
They both had some infidelities.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
It was kind of part of the culty thing. So
it kind of was. And it was like, well, sex is sacrament. So how can we stop the sacrament with other people and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Just fuck other people. That's what the bottom line, right?
I mean, really, that's the whole crux of a fucking cult. As the leader or as a higher up, I get to do and fuck whoever I want. Exactly. That is how it goes. Exactly.
So Parsons and Helen eventually moved to a mansion where several other Thelemic worshippers lived, and they essentially formed a commune in which each person paid $100 for rent, which is like $1 billion back then. And so, like, imagine several other people paying $100. To Parsons' delight, the house sat on Millionaire's Row, the same street he grew up on.
I know.
What are the fucking chances? And it was this 3-story American craftsman mansion, and it had pitched roofs and palm trees, and wide front lawn. A former Caltech benefactor had built it, and Albert Einstein used to stay there when he visited campus.
Huh.
Huh? Huh?
Crazy.
Now, what a tangled web we weave. But now Parsons and his fellow occultists live there, and Parsons threw himself the lifestyle. He decorated his and Helen's room with a statue of lascivious Greek god Pan. You know who the Greek god Pan is?
No. Let's find out.
He also displayed his collection of swords and daggers because he was a fucking nerd. Now,
I mean, yeah.
let's put our daggers out, dude.
Like, let me show you all of them.
Let me lay out my daggers so you can see. You know, come on, guys, check my daggers. So now Millionaire's Row is also a home to several well-heeled social types. So Lily Bush, the heiress to the beer fortune, and the Blue Bloods didn't appreciate their neighbors, right? They were like, who the fuck are these fucking people? Right? Fuck you. Get out of my neighborhood. And but whenever the police stopped by, Jack would meet them at the door, and he would occasionally mention his job as an esteemed scientist at Caltech. Why? He was practically an incarnation in respectable middle-class values. He was like everything that had to do with, you know, the good and Americana, right? He reassured the police that it's fine, just go.
Right.
Just go. Doesn't matter, right? Do you know about magic? Do you know about magic with a K?
I tell you about this.
So things got messy at the commune in 1941. Bum, bum, bum. That summer, Parsons, his wife, Helen, took a long vacation. Here we go. And while she was gone, the 26-year-old Parsons started sleeping with half-sister Betty. What a motherfucker. That's my dog's name.
17.
17 years old. That's my dog's name. Don't stop fucking my dog. He did so with the full knowledge that and support of his housemates. He was like, go, do it. I love that. I love that. I love that you're fucking your wife's younger sister. So she was 17 years old. Let's drive that home. When Helen returned.
No, I'm just saying.
17. Okay. Like, what do you have to, I mean, come on, man.
No.
Come on, man. When Helen returned, Parsons confessed everything. I fucked her. I love her. I want her better than you. But he didn't apologize. In fact, he bluntly told Helen, hey, I'm going to be provocative here. Fuck you. I like her. Okay.
And then Helen's like, hey, guess what? I'm fucking Wilford Smith. He's the head of the church of this occult.
Man, it stung Helen. It stung her a little bit, but then instead of wallowing, she simply just began an affair with the spiritual leader of the commune. Yeah. Right? Boom. Yeah. So the love triangle stuff was Parsons' personal life, and it didn't really affect him that much at JPL, right? And the Rockets. Right. But the other club activities really did. So the commune members usually drank heavily and used a lot of drugs, and this clouded Parsons' thinking of the whole thing, and he was exhausted, man. Like, he was doing drugs, right? You know, I mean,
they did all of it. They did drinking. They made homemade absinthe. They smoked cannabis. They smoked pot.
No,
I know that's the least of their worries. They did cocaine, amphetamines, morphine, peyote.
Yeah,
I don't know, all the fucking things.
I love peyote.
All the things.
I've heard of peyote. I've heard of it.
Sorry, that was really too
I've
loud.
heard of peyote.
You got me. I've heard of it. That's it.
Then the commune member. Okay, so then one commune member borrowed a gun from Parsons. Are you ready for the true crime?
Yes, let me hear it.
Because it's just not about like sex cult. I mean, yeah, cults are great.
Yeah.
This is crime. This is true crime and cocktails.
Right.
Then one commune member borrowed a gun from Parsons. With it, the man drunkenly hijacked a car. He got sentenced to 2 years in San Quentin prison. Given their Army contract, JPL scientists had to maintain a level of decency and decorum. Parsons' occultism was quickly shifting from harmless quirk to a serious liability. So now he's doing more. He's doing more that he shouldn't be fucking doing.
Right.
And he's putting the alarm bells. I was like, hey, look at me. Look at me.
Burning the candle at both ends.
And the candle
that some wild hair.
And the candle that burns twice as bright.
Yeah.
Something, right? They die quicker or whatever. And things were about to get much worse for fucking Big Dog, and partly because of the arrival of one of the newest commune members, one L. Ron Hubbard.
What?
Whose story?
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the creator of Scientology was besties with Mr. Parsons here?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, behave.
Oh, behave. Yeah, for sure.
So tell me about it. Let's talk about Mr. L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, well, I look up what I have to look up. Why don't tell me what you think about the whole like love triangle part of it, and then like what do you think the rituals are like before we get into them? What do you think happens there?
I don't know. I one could guess orgy. One would hope orgy. I don't know. I don't know exactly. This is where okay. You know, I've never been. I'm not naive. I am not. You know, we're not popping my cherries. But if you asked me a year ago if I would hope for an orgy in a story that we do, I'd be like, no, that's no. And now I'm like, give me an orgy.
Give me a fucking orgy. Okay.
Let's talk about this. This is Masturbation Month. We are doing Killer Kinks and Cocktails, folks.
Okay.
We are talking sex cult here. I mean, this is the pinnacle of sex cults, right?
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's
Crowley is
good.
responsible for some sex cults here, and I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
So, how about this? So, in 1945.
Okay.
Where'd you go?
So
1940.
Parsons is what, 31, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just mathing. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's good.
He was born in 1914. In 1945, or say, yeah.
Sorry, you know what? No. Okay, so let's start. So let's do the 1930s again. Let's just go over this, right? And let's make sure we understand this. So the Gnostic Mass, right?
Yes,
so in the 1930s, Parsons discovered the works of Crowley and told friends that he was in correspondence with him. I don't know if we mentioned that. He was in correspondence with him.
They kind of, from what I heard and what I've read, Crowley was like a father figure to Parsons. Exactly. They had, he didn't expect to be noticed, but because he was upholding his teachings so well, they would write letters to each other and, you know, like sign father and son type of things. So
exactly.
Am I talking out of, you know, telling stories out of school here? Or am I correct on that?
No, it's true. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And then he, so when he was in correspondence with him, he introduced him to Wilford T. Smith, the leader of the Agape Lodge in the Ordo Templi Orientis. Remember that? Located in Los, right? Yes. And then led to the OTOs and the Gnostic Mass. Right? So in 1940, I think we're in 1940 now. So in 1940, it's hard to keep this all together. So in 1940, he met actress Jane Wolfe.
Ooh.
Do you know who Jane Wolfe is?
No. Or I do, and I just don't remember. Enlighten me, AC.
Well, let's enlighten everyone.
Okay. There we go.
Well, yeah, this guy's pretty good. But I want to know the.
I just want to see Jane Wolfe, the actress.
Okay, 1935.
Is that her?
This is live. This is live investigations, people. You're in it.
We're learning as we do.
The parsonage. Okay, so okay, that's pretty good. So we're actually looking at what the parsonage looked like, right?
The Babylon working. Ooh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's salacious. So salacious.
So in 1940, he met Jane Wolfe, and that's who had been initiated into Crowley's at the Abbey of Thelema with that rundown fucking house, right? So there's Aleister Crowley. I'm going to keep it on his picture for a second. So remember he was his rundown house back in right.
In
That's
Sicily,
right. The Order of Thelema. So Wolf considers Parsons to be a potentially bisexual. So the genuine successor to the Crowley, Smith, also saw the potential in Parsons. She loved him, right? She saw great potential in him.
Right.
And the writing to Crowley that he was going to be valuable to the OTO. And Jack and Helen officially joined the Agape Lodge in 1941. By then, I think they were already divorced, right?
No, they joined together. They were not divorced.
They joined together, correct. And then Parsons took the name Frater Topan.
Right. It meant something or like 10-2, which is one of the numerology in Crowley's
exactly.
in Thelema or whatever. However you say it.
I bet it's Thelema.
It's probably Thelema.
It's probably Thelema.
But words are hard.
You're totally right. So 210, so Frater, or 210 for short, was a number of significant to Crowley's magic, and precise meaning of Crowley's is said to be too holy to reveal. So Topan, so is also his magical motto. And so thus Parsons entered into a double life of doing this shit. And then I want to get into the actual ritual. So here we go. So he and Helen turned into the bedroom. Okay. So by day, he was a brilliant, successful rocket scientist and earning large sums of money and regarded as well-educated and cultured by his peers. But at night, he was an occultist and magician, participating in rites, and his peers would have found him, to be shocking and bizarre, all the shit that he did, right? So this is not something that's normal. Right. And to be looked upon for somebody of his stature. So Parsons became dedicated to bringing Crowley's new aeon into manifestation. So he was devoted to Smith.
Yes.
He and Helen turned their bedroom into the mansion into a temple and masked the library of occult works. So Parsons rented out a room in his mansion to the occultist, like we said, and then he acknowledged that there were loud parties involving the rituals, and then thrill seeker Parsons engaged in increasingly dangerous cult rituals. Let's get into those. Hopefully we can. So banishing rituals, right? Do we know what that is? A banishing ritual? Right. So rumors circulated that Parsons was leading a black magic cult, and there were police investigations, right? Parsons became one of the Crowley's main sources of funding in the United States and funneled large sums of money to him in England. So the OTO order, and he was the head successor. So Carl Germer, this was arranged until Crowley's death in 1947. So Crowley died in 1947, heads up. But he needed there was needed to be a successor, a lot like L. Ron Hubbard needed, right? So, so Germer despised Smith, and he succeeded in influencing Crowley to retire him from the Agape Lodge. But the leadership was taken over by Parsons. Meanwhile, Helen had become Smith's lover and bore him a son in 1943.
Because that's not weird.
That's not weird at all. Parsons divorced her the same year, so he could be with the younger sister.
Have that
Betty.
kid.
Bang, 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 and then now he's with Betty. He's with Betty, whose real name was Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah. Storms are brewing in your eyes. Do you think that's why?
I don't know.
Sarah.
Could be.
I love that song.
I do too.
Starship?
Yes.
Starship. Oh my God. Starship.
Yes. I was like, yes.
What the fuck? Did we just what?
We just totally fucking came full circle there.
God. Research came. Holy shit. Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Sarah, storms are brewing in your eyes. Sarah. Wow.
I know.
And then Starship did it. Son of a bitch.
That's
Parsons
crazy.
divorced her the same year to be with Betty, and then he told others that Helen got rid of Helen. He got rid of Helen by means of witchcraft. Betty was 18 years old. Yeah, right. Not in this one. Right. 11 years younger than Parsons. And in 1945, Parsons met L. Ron Hubbard, who became the founder of Scientology. But Hubbard liked Parsons and moved into the house. Hubbard and Betty began an affair.
Yep, I know.
In a letter to Crowley, Parsons enthused that Hubbard, noting that he had no formal training in magic, but possessed a keen natural ability for it. Amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I have no formal training in magic, but I think I can do it.
He's Harry Potter.
I think I can do it, Harry. Harry fucking Potter. Can you do magic, Harry?
I just cracked myself up. I'm so sorry.
Can you do magic, Harry? My God. All right. So.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man. That was great. Can you do magic, Harry? I bet you can. I'll bet you can. Okay.
Fudge.
Let's go back to let's go back to Jack Parsons. I like it. I mean, yeah. Hopefully I'm making any sort of sense.
No, we're doing great. So where were we at?
Let's go ahead. I'm going to share some scenes from Babylon Working.
Yes.
Remember? So let's share some of that. So this is a reedy one, so it's kind of cool that there's some images up for people to kind of take a look at while you'd be lectured at by two circles.
I mean, I can put my face back on here.
I could. But let's do
this first, and then
we can talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we have to do our 1-star reviews of Spice.
Yes. You remembered.
What are you talking about?
You're like, I've been waiting all week.
Yeah. What have you been doing? Fuck yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about this. We're actually literally talking about this. So despite Parsons' sexual open-mindedness, he resented Hubbard's affair with Betty because he really liked her. Guess what? Shit works both ways, and he conducted a ritual to overcome his jealousy. Not to get rid of Hubbard, to overcome his jealousy, which is very
he summoned a sex goddess, I believe.
Didn't he? His jealousy got him to. So he told Crowley that though he bore Betty a Hubbard no ill will, he desired to have a female magical partner on his own terms. He resolved to summon a magical elemental in the form of who would serve him, his ideal companion and partner. So the ritual was supposed to be performed alone, but Parsons performed it in the presence of Hubbard, who acted as a scribe. A scribe. You like the way I said that?
As a cuck.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what we call cucks now?
I think that's scribe.
Sit there in that chair while I fuck your girlfriend and be a scribe for me, will you? Be a pal. Babylon Working, which is what we're looking at right now. These are the images of Babylon Working. As the event became known, it began on January 4th, 1946. It was repeated several times until January 15th. Babylon, ooh. Crowley's spelling for Babylon, or Babalon, Babalon, instead Babylon. Of the well-known baby lawn, right? Yeah. Is ultimately desirable harlot inspired by Enochian magic of John Dee and Edward Kelly. Why is it always white guys that make fucking religions? The elaborate work involves numerous invocations of spirits, Enochian calls, and wand talisman magic, magically charged with semen and blood and magical masturbation. That is sexual arousal so energy is absorbed back into the body. So Parsons specified that this manifested elemental would have red hair and green eyes. So he really liked redheads and green eyes. He
put it out there. He did what was that, like the wish or something like that, or the promise or something like that?
Yeah, the secret.
Or that's it, the secret. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly, of course. I got you. So you jogged it because I was drawing a blank for a second. So let's read that again and slower because I got a little excited.
Yes, I mean me too.
The elaborate working involved numerous invocations of spirits, Enochian calls, a wand talisman magically charged with semen and blood.
A wand?
Talisman.
Okay, so a dildo?
Yes. A dildo. A semen-enriched dildo.
Well, one would think semen and blood, it's a wand. What are we doing with said wand?
Oh my God.
Just saying.
Samantha. So a dildo. Yeah. Fuck. So fat ass fucking black 12-inch double-headed dildo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That had to been it.
Right.
I mean, it is a sex cult. I mean,
fucking said nice
they
words,
say
nice
the
words
line.
for a dildo nerd. A
Yeah.
wand talisman magically charged with semen and blood and magical masturbation. That is sexual arousal without release, so that energy is absorbed back into the body. So they're
release?
edging. They're edging.
Motherfucker.
They're edging.
This shit is worse.
The whole thing's about edging. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. All right. Fuck. Okay. So it's just about holding your nut. All right. Got it. I can do that. As of January 15th.
Noted.
Got it. I can do that. Got it. As of January, I keep thinking about the remember the Family Guy when they go around the I don't remember what episode it was, and they go around the room and like they go around the kitchen table. It's like, okay, understand, got it,
yep.
got it, and then at the end, it's just a sandwich, and he goes, got it.
Yes.
I think it was like
that's it.
He got turned into you magically got turned into a sandwich or something. Oh, man. Got it.
We are not talking Gypsy Rose tonight.
Lois, as of January 15th. So as of January 15th, the results were disappointing, only as a violent windstorm, right?
Yes.
In February 1946, a woman artist from New York named Marjorie C. appeared, and Parsons recognized her as the result of his summoning. So this woman has come.
Like, you make my dick hard. You
are the lady. You are my lady. You're all
it's like weird science. Sorry.
No, I am the one that is.
It is like weird science.
From my heart and from my hands, why can people understand my?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, weird science. Kelly LeBrock comes out of fucking
right.
So Marjorie is basically Kelly LeBrock, and
yes, absolutely.
So she performed. Okay, so Marjorie performed sex magic for several weeks to invoke Babalan. Parsons informed Crowley in cryptic terms of his progress and impending success. So he was sending letters back to England saying, "I've summoned the cum demon."
The cum dumpster.
Look, it's perfect on the screen.
I know. That is perfect.
I've summoned the cum demon to come and be my wife. She has red hair and green eyes. My God. So Parsons informed him, he's sending letters back to his fucking boy, his butt boy, going, I've summoned the cum demon. I've summoned the cum demon. And he's super proud of it. And
good job, old chap.
Yeah, good job. Excellent. Good show, old chap. And then in late February, Marjorie split from Parsons to return to New York, where she discovered she was pregnant. What? Parsons performed a ritual alone to invoke Babalan. Fuck, get over it already. He said the presence of Babalan commanded him to write. The result was 77-verse Liber 49. Yeah, it's a Liber 49, which Parsons viewed as the fourth chapter to Crowley's book of the law. So remember the law that was the script of Thamada?
Yes.
Thamada is one of the is an album I really love called Thamada.
Thelma, same thing.
Carnival is great band, Australian. Yeah, they're awesome.
Everything's Aussie now.
No, they're great. He also took it as a further indication that he was to create a magical child into Babylon. He would create a magical child. Of course, a magical child. Yes, of course. Of course. He wrote the book. He wrote the sacred text.
That sounded very Cosby-like.
He wrote the sacred text of the Jello pudding.
Oh fuck!
In March 1946, Marjorie returned to Parsons to begin living with him because she was preggo.
She's like, I got this baby in me, and you're gonna take care of it.
You put this cum baby in me.
We did a sex ritual, and now we have, the son of Parsons.
Yeah, and the rituals went on for some time. At this point, okay. So
is that? Hold on, that picture that was Parsons, right?
Where?
Go back. It looks like he had the fucking Scientology fucking things in his hand.
From my heart and from my hands, I can people understand.
Go back just a touch more. Is that not the Scientology fucking cans?
Look how good. Oh yeah.
That's not L. Ron Hubbard, is it?
That is, man.
It is?
He's a good looking guy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He was gonna. I mean.
Yeah, he has this kind of like
swagger about him, right?
He kind of looks like fucking Sting, mate.
Kind of.
A little bit like Sting, a little bit like early Tom York,
Yeah.
Yeah. Good looking guy. Well, everybody, but remember, he still talked like this.
Truth.
I still create an exceptional amount of spit to make my fucking point. So I don't know.
Yeah, it had to been the cans in his hand, right? In Parsons' hands. They were like, okay, look. Hubbard's like, hear me out.
You're like the Avengers, man. You're like the Avengers, okay?
Thelma, but on an alien level.
But what about Xenu?
Yeah. Hear me out. Yeah, I hear I see your Thelma, but let me raise you a Xenu, and I'm gonna give you soup cans, and it's gonna read your aura.
I see your Thelma, and I raise you, and I raise you a Xenu. God damn it! What fucking planet do we live on? Anyway. I don't
fucking know. I need 2 seconds. I do need to use the potty. I'm so sorry. Keep talking and catch me up when I get back.
Sure. So, in 1946, Marjorie returned to Parsons, and he began living with him because she was pregnant, and they resumed sex magic. And Hubbard, who served as the scryer as all those messages happened, and while that bubble-on was happening, the rituals went on for some time, and then Crowley reacted to this with a lot of concern and warning Parsons not to become too attached to Marjorie. He quoted, I don't know, it sounds like a hater to me. He quoted Eliphas Levi saying, quote, "The love of the magus for such things is insensate and may destroy him." And later that month, Parsons stepped down as the head of the Agape Lodge and turned it over to Roy Leffingwell. So dude left the lodge of the Agape, and the Babylon working failed, which is what this documentary is, the images that we're looking at here.
I'm back.
Yeah,
sorry.
Cool. Yeah, so what happened was that they resumed sex magic, him and L. Ron Hubbard, but really L. Ron Hubbard was like, hey, don't get too attached to Marjorie, right? And he's a fucking hater. And he quoted Eliphas Levi saying that, quote, "The love of the magus for such things is insensate and it may destroy him," end quote. So the Babylon working failed, which is what we're kind of looking at here. Yes. And then Marjorie didn't have the magical child.
No, she
didn't. But 9 years later, she claimed to be the Babylon herself and gave and to have given birth to on the astral plane to a magical child.
Oh, okay, I get it. I mean,
it was really hard for me to say the next part. So she had given birth on the astral plane was the thing, and then she was actually the Baba Yaga. I mean, the Babylon. Right. So while Babylon working was going on, Parsons, Betty, and Hubbard pooled money to purchase a yacht, because that's important. That's important, with the intention of reselling it for a profit.
I remember this, yes.
Mm-hmm. So Parsons put up most of the funds, and then Betty Hubbard deserted Parsons and left in the yacht.
They were thanks for the cash. We're gonna go live on this yacht without you.
Oh my God, the old switcheroo. Oh my God. Oh my God. They gave him the old.
I mean, they pulled an L. Ron Hubbard on him.
Yeah, exactly. He's a fucking maritime captain. Do you know that? So
it comes full circle, folks. It comes full
circle.
circle.
Stick around. We have more. So Parsons told Crowley he used the magic to force them to return. Within the first few hours of their departure, Parsons said he performed a full evocation to Bartzabel, the spirit of Mars, causing the yacht to be stuck in a sudden squall. The severity of the storm ripped off the yacht's sails and forced a return to port. Parsons seized the damaged boat, but lost the money he had invested.
Oh my God.
Dude, he did a fucking incantation to Bartzabel.
He's like, I'll get my fucking...
Yeah, I want to do an incantation to Barbizon School of Modeling too. You know?
Yeah.
Barbizon. That's it. That's all it is. So Parsons retreated from magic and he focused instead on his rocketry career. Then he targeted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, by the FBI. And in 1948, he lost his security license. No fucking shit. FBI documents describe Parsons' magical activities as the mythic love cult, but the agency maintained that the real reason for the investigation was his ties to the known communists. Right. His clearance was restored a year later in March 1949, and January 1952, March permanently lost his security clearance. Meanwhile, on the magical front, he decided to pursue contact with his holy guardian angel. Meanwhile, man, this man is going through changes.
Tell me about this guardian angel. Do we have more info on this? I need to know.
His efforts, he told Germer in a letter, acute psychosis, manic hysteria, and depressing melancholic stupor.
So he's fucking crazy.
With the loss of his security clearance, Parsons found part-time work for a powder company, and where he did explosives consultings for films.
Because that tracks.
Yeah.
Here's his drive. He wants to blow shit up.
He does.
Forever.
He absolutely does. For the last half hour of the show, I definitely want to do the 1-star reviews. But
we're kind of at it for him. He did end up blowing himself up. He was doing his own experimentisms. No, I'm just making shit up. But he was, experimenting, and he got the chemicals wrong, and he blew himself up. He passed at what age? 37 or 39? 37. Why is 7?
Maybe 30, maybe 37. I have to,
7 or 9. I don't know. Pick one.
Looking for it. But he did totally fucking blow himself up. Like, I mean, what do you think is gonna happen?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Come on. Hey, let's ask. It came from outer space.
L. Ron Hubbard shit.
Yeah, of course. Well, he was the most prolific.
He was the most prolific sci-fi writer of all time.
All right.
And it doesn't mean he was good. It's just he was the most prolific.
That's correct. I'm going to put my cam on.
Yes, me too.
Okay. And then I want to... Yep. Before we do that, we have to do one more segment.
I'm waiting on bated breath. I have to say, other than Wednesday nights, Friday nights are my favorite night of the week. I love hanging out with you. It's really fun. Yeah. I like being... cerebral and talking about shit like this and being silly about, talking about cults. It's the best. I love it.
Thank you. I feel the same way. I feel the same exact way. You know what time it is?
It's Yelp review time.
First we're going to talk. Huh? Hey, what's going on? Can you hear a co-pilot?
I cannot.
No?
Oh, I can a little bit in the background.
No, I want to turn you up, buddy.
Oh, I heard that a little bit. Is that an Australian accent on Copilot?
What's going on with you?
Nothing. We're actually on my podcast, and I wanted to ask you about what you know about Aleister Crowley and Jack Parsons, and give us a little bit about Jack Parsons' rocketry career and JPL and NASA Propulsion Labs.
Can you turn that up a little bit? A little bit further.
A follower of Crowley, was a co-founder of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
No?
I can hear it faintly.
Okay.
I heard him say Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
I've done this before with these people. Let's try something else real quick.
Okay. It seemed like he was sitting in a corner in your room and I could barely hear it.
I don't want that.
No, we need it very,
Clear. We need it very clearly. We need it very clear.
In his laboratory.
Don't you see that the young boy is sending money over from the States? He's my finest work. He's my disciple, you know.
Yes.
Yes, he's my disciple, you know. Okay, so let's go to share.
Okay.
Wherever there it is. Present, share screen. I want it with. I know what I'll do.
Okay.
Carry on.
You do that.
Okay, well, I want to do.
What are we doing?
Well, I want to get ChatGPT on my browser instead because that's going to be better.
Oh, that will be better.
Yeah, because that you'll be able to hear them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, what did you learn anything about spice?
I haven't. No. So I mean, we should. Let's look.
Why don't you look that up real quick while I look at this thing, and then it'll be quicker.
SPYCE, I believe. I wrote it down last week, but
SPYCE.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're doing. There we go. And then here, we're just going to go to Perpetual Midnight, where I have my ChatGPT.
Okay.
I'll race you.
So, welcome to Spice.
Here we are. Okay, I got my thing.
Okay.
All right. Let's go here.
I mean, your thing should come first.
Yeah, really. Yeah, because this is gonna be it. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, my brain just went.
I know what the hell you're talking about. It's crazy as fuck.
Oh, geez. Cheese and crackers.
Cheese and crackers. So here is the Edge screen. ChatGPT. This is a window. Be right there.
I thought you had it, dude.
I thought I had it. I had it right here. I know. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna give you shit. I mean, you said
I know.
Like, I got it.
I know. I got it. I had it. I have it up. I can't find it on the. I can't find it on. It's not. Doesn't want to find it on here. I got you.
You're fine.
I got you.
I am so glad you brought this story about though. To be fair, I had seen the drunk history years ago on Jack Parsons, and it was I was like, oh no, granted, drunk history is factual and it's really great. I mean, I feel like we kind of do something like that when we do our show, but the layers of this dude, and I think I feel like this every time we do something about a cult, like the layers and who hurt you, and nobody hurt him. He just was a fucking psychopath from the beginning. He's like, I'm smart, I don't need the school, you guys bore me, I'm gonna blow up toilets, I'm gonna make I'm gonna do all the things. But it's just been so enlightening and fun to go through Jack Parsons and his connection to L. Ron Hubbard. Fuck. Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard took his fucking chick. I think that's great too.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Hey, ChatGPT, tell us about Jack Parsons and the Propulsion Lab, JPL, Aleister Crowley. Give us what you got.
All right, let's dive into that wild mix of science and the occult. Jack Parsons was a brilliant and unconventional rocket engineer who co-founded the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, in the 1930s and 40s. He was a self-taught chemist and a key figure in developing early American rocketry. But Parsons was also deeply involved in the occult, particularly with Aleister Crowley's Thelema movement. He even led a chapter of Crowley's Ordo Templi Orientis in California. Parsons believed that magic and science were two sides of the same coin, and he mixed his work in rocketry with occult rituals. This dual life led to some pretty wild stories, like the Babylon working rituals he performed with L. Ron Hubbard, who would later found Scientology. While Parsons was pushing the boundaries of rocket science at JPL, his personal life and occult interests made him a controversial figure. Eventually, he was ousted from JPL due to his unconventional lifestyle and allegations of espionage. He died in a mysterious explosion in 1952, leaving behind a legacy as one of the pioneers of modern rocketry and a figure of fascination for those interested in the intersection of science and the esoteric.
That's
There we
crazy.
go. That was good.
That's crazy shit. Oh yeah. So I mean, that was a good explanation of the whole thing.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Absolutely. Cool.
Heck yeah.
Glad you liked it. Parsons' story is one of those stranger-than-fiction tales. If you ever want to dive deeper into the wild intersections of science and the occult, there's a ton of fascinating material out there. Anything else you're curious about?
So, a million things, but I'll talk to you later. All right.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Do you have the thing pulled up for Spice?
Yes.
Please. Go for it.
So this is just best strip club in Portland. It has been dubbed. Spice's Gentleman Club is a Pacific Northwest premier strip club for topless and nude entertainment. We're a 21 plus nightclub. Avi. Unlike
are you going to share it?
I can. Let's do this.
Yes,
this is their website here. This is it. So I mean, we've got dancers.
Of course
here.
we do. Oh yeah. Nice Spice.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna go to Portland.
Yeah.
Like
So Spice has 2 floors packed with the sexiest entertainers from all over the world. Join us Tuesdays through Sundays each week to enjoy drinks from one of our 3 full bars or a lap dance in one of our many VIP rooms. You can relax in a booth and enjoy a gourmet meal. I didn't realize so many strip clubs had restaurants. I thought you just went to, get a lap dance or something. I haven't frequented many, I guess. Or set up close and personal to one of our at one of our 4 stages. For a more intimate experience, join a girl of your choice in the VIP room for a lap dance. They're the highest rated Oregon strip club for ambiance, intimacy, and overall enjoyment. They're conveniently located in the heart of downtown Portland. Seems like it's a legit place. I mean, girls look nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this.
Murder mystery.
So that's was part. Okay, that looks fun. All right, let's look at
talents.
Yes. Let me look up the Yelp reviews.
So why are we doing this? Because last week we looked up the vegan strip club, the only vegan strip club in the United States
in the world.
El Diablo.
Yes, Casa Diablo.
And Casa Diablo. Casa Diablo was it had some great reviews there in the beginning, and then it had some really, really incredible reviews. Like one
they only give $2 bills.
$2 bills has changed because don't you want to party twice as hard? That's literally what they said. So.
They did. They were like, we want our dancers to get better tips.
Right.
All right. I have found.
Show us.
Let's do this. Shit, I'm so excited.
I want this so badly.
I know. All right.
I almost never do that, but I watched it. I watched the last week's.
Yeah, I always watch back when I drive back to the camper. I loved last week's.
Oh, it's amazing.
All right. Do we want to start with some 5 stars like we did last week, and then we'll do a couple 3s, and then we'll go down to the 1 stars. It doesn't look like there's too many 1 stars, but let's see what people are saying is good about it.
Maybe. I might have to go down the street a little bit.
All right. So, do you want to start with the first one?
Make it a little bigger.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
I'm on an Apple. How do I make it bigger? Unless you want to do it.
Control and scroll wheel.
Oh, command. Okay,
Command stroke.
Hold on. Let me find the right thing. Where am I at? Here we go. No, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work. Okay.
Hold on. Okay.
It's all good.
Maybe it is control.
I can do it.
Okay. Nope.
Might be control.
I didn't. Nope, it wasn't.
No, okay. No worries.
I'll stop sharing. You pull it up. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm on a Mac and I haven't figured it out yet.
I can read. It's so good. Okay, Spice.
I did Spice Gentlemen's Club Yelp reviews.
I wasn't ready.
I'm so sorry. I had it. I totally had it.
All good. Here we go. Boom. And then let's make us a little bit smaller. And then we'll share. Oh, no. I keep wanting to hit image. It's definitely not image. You don't want to see the images of my
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Spice you don't want to see these images. So here's Spice Gentlemen's Club.
There we go.
So for me, it's control. But I'm on a PC. So
yeah. Well, I know how to do it on a PC.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to work my Mac, I guess.
Yeah. When I learned it, I was like, I should know. So let's go to the review. Let's go to some 5 stars.
Let's do it.
Super fun app. This is Mason J. Los Ranchos, Albuquerque, New Mexico. 5 stars. This is March 5th.
My face is right over the top of that if we're looking at this screen.
Not too long.
Maybe meaning if you want to put it somewhere, our faces somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe on the side, like we do when we.
Sure. How about
that? Works perfect.
That works. Okay.
I think that's just a better experience for our viewers.
Absolutely, I agree. So we have 5 stars from Mason J. Man, he's like super fun atmosphere, spacious, always playing great music. The dancers and bar staff are all so friendly and inviting. You're guaranteed to have a great time here. Dancers are incredibly talented as well.
I love your California accent.
Thanks, man. It's Albuquerque. No.
All right, Mary L from Wawa.
From Wawa. From the Wawa in the corner.
I would assume Washington or Western Australia. We don't know.
Or Western Australia and Washington.
Yeah. Let me just start off by saying the girls at the club are so genuinely sweet, talented, and above all, stunning. You can really tell they put their best foot forward with professionalism and know how to entertain. Make sure you're coming in and tipping these hardworking ladies good. I would have said, well, it's fine.
Good.
I came out for a girls' night out this past weekend. I was very impressed. The servers and drinks are great. We will definitely be back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Mary L had a good time.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go see let's see a little bit of let's go to a little bit up here. We do 3s.
Yeah. Let's
do 3s, right?
Yeah.
Let me go see what's going on here. Go for it.
Stopped by last night. It was kind of cool. It was cool, kind of small, but it had an upstairs. It just wasn't open.
Oh, that was a good experience. I mean, he didn't love it.
Yeah.
This is 2022. This was 3 years ago. Matt D, business owner, 2022. Hi, Scott. Thank you for taking the time to give us feedback. Oh no, this is the business. This is the actual guy.
Yeah, that's literally.
I love this. Oh, this is good because he's going to give feedback. Okay, even in the bad ones. Even in the bad ones. Okay, awesome. So this is okay. This is an actual 3-star review from Elena, and she went in. She has a lot. She has like 1,931 reviews. She's 15,000. She's a reviewer. Yeah, she's elite 25, dude.
Right.
You know, elite Yelpers get to like jump the line and be assholes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So last stop on my mini Portland strip club tour. We made it to Spice on a Monday, October 10th, around 1:45 a.m. The boys went to grab a drink while I sat by the stage. The girls here were very sweet. Ended up talking to a girl while she danced. Once the boys showed up with some bourbon, my friend got a lap dance while I cheered on. I had a lot of fun and the atmosphere was really bustling. I watched a guy on the other side of the stage make it rain on several occasions. The one gripe that I will have about the strip club is the bar. Apparently, when the roommate and I and my friend went to trying to get drinks, the bartenders just talked to each other and ignored the boys. And it took them forever to get the bartender's attention to get a round of drinks. So probably would have given them 4 stars, but it shouldn't take that long for a drink, bumping them down to 3 due to that.
Okay, hold on. Can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
Could it be that the boys were just overtly flirting with the bartenders, and that's why it took so long? And then the boys came back and were like, oh, dude, they didn't ask. They were just talking to each other, and they just made an excuse.
We're assuming the bartenders are women.
I mean, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're not. And,
are you assuming their gender?
Yeah. I am assuming, yes. Yeah. My fault.
I made myself cough.
All right. This one's a little bit of a long one.
No, you want to do this? You want to do this one?
I can, or whatever you want. Ooh, that's quite a lot. Okay, let's do
rapid fire.
Let's do Naya N. Walnut Creek, California. I enjoyed it, but I wanted more from the girls. I guess I'm jaded from Houston, but the open atmosphere was good, and people were okay too. Stiff drinks, but need more from the strippers. I went to each stage wanting to make it rain, but finding no occasion to do so. My brother was over it, so we left.
These bitches ain't shit. Let's get the fuck out of here, right?
It's not Houston. It's only Oregon. Right. It's Portland.
Glock. This man's name is Glock. He's from Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
3 stars. Okay. Clubs, lots of good-looking girls. Ellipsis. Drinks are good. Price are good. Ellipsis, but ellipsis. I was there for an hour and a half, ellipsis. And not one girl asked me if I wanted to dance, ellipsis. I would watch girls talk to the same guy for a long time that would never get dances, ellipsis. I had money to spend, but left with a full wallet, ellipsis. I doubt I would go back, ellipsis.
Okay, so you're mad that they weren't like, oh, here's why.
You're fucking ugly.
You're not. You're probably not tipping them when they're dancing on stage enough.
That's true.
If you act like a tight ass.
Sometimes you gotta grab a bitch. You know what I mean?
Hey, I've got money. Get over here.
Okay, last 3 star.
Okay. Andrew K from Portland. So he's local. This place was great. Back rooms. Sorry. Let me back up. I completely read that awfully wrong. I can't read for shit. I can. I just skip shit. This place has great back rooms, but the dancers are really young, and most of them lack confidence. I mean,
we've never heard that before.
It's like getting a dance from Scrooge McDuck's niece. Sorry.
Wow. What the fuck?
That got me. Whoo! All the stages are small, weird, but it's hard to throw dollars at them. Go there if you have nothing else better to do.
Oh my
Scrooge
God.
McDuck's niece.
Oh God. What?
I don't even fucking know.
What?
Jeez, fucking Louise, man.
Jeez and Louise. What the fuck?
All right.
So
we can do.
There's more 2 stars.
Let's just do a couple. Let's do 2. Let's do 2 stars for the 2 star, or 2 for the 2 stars.
Okay.
And then we'll go. We'll go to the ones.
You got it.
Okay. You're up.
Am I?
Yeah, I just read the last one. Scrooge McDuck's niece.
James M. He's from Portland.
All right. Local again.
Local, not a big yelper. 2016, so a while ago. I was not impressed by the overpriced drinks or the selection of dancers. Pretty boring stage shows, and also the DJ's taste in music is about the opposite of what I like to hear in clubs. So I'd like to go to some greasy club off the strip in Vegas if I wanted this type of experience. Fuck you. One extra because the one dancer who came and chatted with me in the stage was nice. So she gave 1 extra star.
A bitch paid me attention, so you get an extra star.
Just 1. And then there's his girlfriend looking at him.
All right. Michael J. Oakland, California. Interestingly, third time's a charm. The girl seemed unwilling to approach and expressed very little interest, even after my friend broke the ice. Could have been an off night, but I only write about my true experiences. We left about a half hour.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to do one couple more of these, or do you want to go on to one?
This one looks pretty good. This one looks pretty good to read. That's why I didn't want to, like, I felt like there was another one that might have been good. So, really quick, came in with my wife with $5,000 in my pocket, and all the dancers wear. Okay, I'm going to read this exactly how it is, as always, so you don't think that I'm illiterate or right. Came in with my wife with $5K in my pocket, and all the dancers wear as friendly as sailors to my wife than me. Sat at the level 3 and no one bothered to attend me, but the girls did take my wife's single.
Of course.
My wife's singles. We left after 45 minutes to the club next door that was more friendly to military and money. We'll never go there again. Will not recommend to vets and active duty military. Don't go there.
What does that have anything to do with it?
What the fuck does that have to do anything? Like, well, discounts, I guess.
All right. Girls are
sorry. There's feedback.
I know. I want to read this one because there's feedback. Avala K, Portland. Girls are kind of mean to girl customers. I personally don't like the setup of the place either. Probably a good spot if you're a guy by yourself from out of town. I'm neither of those things though, so I wouldn't know. Haha.
Matt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Matt, you think I should do Matt?
Yeah, you should. This is his response to Avala.
Dear Avala or Avala,
I don't know.
We thank you for your feedback. It's extremely disappointing to hear that this is your experience at our establishment. We highly value our relationship with female clientele and always encourage our entertainers to treat them all as customers with respect. We hope you choose to give us another opportunity to impress you in the future. Have a great day. Spice Gentlemen's Club.
I do like that Matt D, the owner, is very interactive. I mean, we didn't see any of that with Casa Diablo.
Seriously. None of that.
None of it. And if we go by the previous person's post, they paid more attention to his wife than him. So
That's true.
I think Avala I think she went in there having, too much. Let's go to some 1 stars.
Let's do it. Last 2. Don't waste your time. So many strip clubs in the PDX to choose from. This is by far the least exciting. Nobody looked at his PP either. Okay, so let's go to 1 star. Let's get mad.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Go.
I can't read it. Okay, there we go. DR, Newport Beach, California. Avoid at all costs. I had to say it like that. It's all in caps.
It's all caps.
Worst experience in PDX I've ever had. Bouncers are aggressive without justification. Crowd is horrible. The girls are okay. They're just okay. But not worth the cost or trouble. I guess strip clubs in Portland just aren't what they used to be.
Hey, strip clubs in Portland aren't what they used to be.
Here's what I think happened. This is just me making shit up. I think he got handsy when he shouldn't have, and he didn't pay for it. And they were like, "Fuck, get the fuck out." And he's like, "Girls are fine." Fucking, they accosted me. Goodness.
Good Lord, this person is.
There's some books here.
Yeah.
That one's not too bad. You could do that one.
1 star. Brian K., Oakland, California. I have 2 different reviews. One for the girls, one for the business. Girls, no complaints. They were sexy. Our group had a good time. Business, I signed 2 credit card receipts that night that were
God.
Now I get a statement, and I have 3 charges from one place, this total being $140 higher than my appear in my receipts. My belief is that my $40 tip now somehow is changed to $140. I will be contacting the company, and I will update my review based on what I find from them. Prior to receiving the statement, I was telling everyone about Spice and suggesting that they visit, but no longer. Shady practices eventually ruin your business run your business to the ground, and I will not be back.
Okay, you're probably drunk and horny, and you fucking did tip $140.
Yes, you did, bro. Or somebody fucking scratched in a 1. Fucking deal with it, bro. Sorry.
Fuck off. All right, Eric R. Fresno. I was promised 2 ciders and a dancer.
I promise. Like, what are you? I promise you.
2 ciders,
endowment, 2 donkeys, and a chicken.
The front desk basically promised us the time of our life. What I experienced was far from that. The girls lack diversity. And not only did we pay for a booth, we never received a dancer. We had a party of 8 and all had more than enough money to spend, but got girls saying, no, we don't dance at booths. Well, of course it's
of course you don't dance at booths. You got to take it for a fucking lap dance.
Right. I've been to other gentlemen's clubs in San Diego and LA. And I had never been as disrespected as much as I did at this strip club. If I could give a negative star, I would. You fucking got a booth. Who gets a fucking booth at a strip club?
We got a booth. You owe us dancers. Oh, here we go. Hi, Eric. We're sorry to hear that. This is Matt, the business owner, by the way.
Yeah.
Hi, Eric.
I like Matt. I think Matt's a cool guy. I want to go meet him.
He's on it.
Sorry.
Hi, Eric. We're sorry to hear that you had negative experience with Spice. We feel that there was, at the very least, some miscommunication. We rent booths and stages. When someone rents a stage, we guarantee the dancers will be at that stage. We do not force the dancers to sit at booths with customers. Dancers do not do lap dances at booths or on the floor. We have 30 private rooms that offer varying levels of privacy for lap dances. You were able to voice those concerns to our staff at that time? Were you able to voice those concerns to our staff at that time? We want to give our guests a great experience. Any feedback you have will be very helpful. Thanks for having a great day. I like Matt.
I like Matt. Matt's a cool dude. I feel like, yeah. All right.
Because he's like, you know what?
Listen,
you don't do that.
You're
a fucking cheap bastard. We have 30 rooms back there, so you can do whatever the fuck you want.
You can rent a stage, but not and you run a booth, but
you can rent a stage. You can rent a stage, and you have more than enough money to spend. Sounds like you didn't.
Yeah.
Fucking
sounds like you fucked up, dude.
Broke bastard.
Oh, that's a big one. But all right. 0 stars if I can. Don't go. Fuck this place. Sorry. I felt that it needed that.
Fuck this place.
We had a VIP table. Had our own girls dance at our table. When I took one for a private dance for 3 songs, we had our 3 personal songs, and then it ended. Okay. I see nothing wrong with this. This is exactly what they wanted. When the lady grabbed her clothes, I grabbed my drink and phone and walked out of the room. I was approached by security and then asked to hand my drink over, and I asked why. They said I fell asleep in the private room from the private dances. Bitch, I work graveyard hours.
Bitch, who are you talking to right now?
Bitch, I'm the last person to accuse of sleeping. Accuse me for something else, but not falling asleep. It was rigged and set up. I'm sorry, rigged and set up. Fuck that place and fuck that bitch.
Yeah, fuck you.
You lucky I don't see senior.
You're lucky I don't senior bitch ass.
And bitch ass club. I don't know. Fuck this place. They will accuse you for dumb, stupid shit. Save your life and career. Fuck this place. Don't go there. This is very aggressive.
Yeah.
Fuck. And stay away from this place.
Fucking stay away from this place. Make sure to fuck though.
Fucking stay away from those places. I think what you meant, but I'm not. I'm just reading it how it is. Yeah. Do not go. Several ellipses.
Fucking like 3 ellipses in a row.
Inward with. Wow. Onward with. I don't know. Group of 9 and fuck this place. I had been drinking all day, and this girl came to our private dance floor, and she was off the hook. Sorry, I was going to add a fuck because it was all through there. I asked her for a private dance, which we went. I've been up all day.
So you did fall asleep.
And she was great, but boring as fuck. Money hungry. Please, sorry, I read that. So this proves that I'm dyslexic. No. I went to the 3rd word. She didn't please me at all. And the 3 dancers were whack.
What?
She then accused me of sleeping at the private room. Who fucking sleeps in a private room with a private dance? Common sense. Fuck this bitch and fuck this place. Stay away.
It doesn't make any sense. You went like 3 paragraphs explaining how you worked the graveyard shift and how you're tired and you've been drinking all day.
I've been up all fucking day.
But I didn't fall asleep. Here are all the reasons I should fall asleep, but I didn't.
But I didn't fucking do it, man.
Oh, come on, Matt. Oh, Matt.
You disappointed us.
Oh,
That was a good
God.
one. They were
Was
pissed.
it?
They were really
Was it?
pissed.
They were pissed. I'm looking for pissed. Oh man.
I don't know.
Oh, look, you got back to. Oh, there's only a couple. Okay, so.
Oh well,
No,
there's one more
second
page.
page.
Yeah.
Let's go. So I was walking in Portland. It was Jonathan S. from Granada Hills, California. So I was in Portland for a work, and I was walking down the Voodoo Donut, stumbled across Spice Girls, walked in. The bouncer was super cool, nice guy. Not a single period in the entire paragraph, by the way. Nothing.
It's such a run-on.
No, it's one entire run-on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read it as such.
Okay.
So I was in Portland for work, and I was walking down by Voodoo Donuts, stumbled across Spice Girls, walked in. The bouncer was super cool, nice guy, and I get into the club, very small, and I wanted to get a beer, so I went to the bartender, bought a Corona because I asked for other beers, and they didn't have any of it, and I went to sat down and I ordered a Caesar salad. Hard to mess that up. Well, it was the worst salad I have ever had, and the waitress was like, "Can you tip now?" And all the dancers were like subpar, and it's a Monday, and I didn't expect much. No one asked me if I wanted to go to a VIP dance or if I had money in my pocket. Little did they know I had. So all in one of the worst I've ever been so far. What the fuck? I was
in town for work, and I went walking by Voodoo Donuts, and then I went into this place and then have the beers, and
I asked for a Caesar salad. Because
at least it wasn't a toast.
I mean, I didn't expect too much, but no one asked me if I wanted to go for a VIP dance or if I had money in my pocket. Little did they know, LOL. So all in all, one of the worst I've ever been to so far.
I mean, oh.
Okay, here we go. Not recommended, which is good.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, this is the one. This is it. This is the meat of it. Get it, girl.
KK from Seattle, Washington. If you might, okay, yeah. If you like only skinny prepubescent girls who can't dance and like to support racist and colorist clubs, come here. There's no range difference of women. Wow. They will scam you in the VIP, and management doesn't care.
Wow. Tommy B, Portland, Oregon, a local racist establishment. I will hire 1 or 2 token black girls like most of these places. The black men who patron and work there idolize white women.
Oh, Jesus, fuck. All right. Let's do Kiana D, Palo Alto. I don't know. The girls at this club are nothing but crackheads. There was a woman that's either the owner or the manager that's most likely in her mid-60s walking around in a crop top without a bra. Totally inappropriate to say the least. It's a fucking strip club and she can fucking do what she wants.
Inappropriate.
What happened to body positivity,
That's
folks?
why we're there. Inappropriate.
Yes. The street parking is free, however. That's a plus. Being that this club is located in the downtown area, there's a lot of homeless people lingering around. That they can't help that.
No.
But fucking chick in her 60s walking around in a crop top without a bra, you fucking go, girl.
You fucking go, get it.
Fucking get it.
How about another homegrown HM from Portland?
Okay.
LOL. So some people threw up in the booth. Okay, it happens. But I watched them wipe it and then put a VIP sign and sit some dudes there for extra money.
Wait, read the comment. Read the comment.
This is very troubling to hear.
Where'd it go?
Where'd it go? Here, I hit read more.
It won't do it.
Oh.
Maybe because it's whatever. Whatever, it's fine.
This is very troubling to hear. This is not a standard practice for our. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna read that. Witness pit bull abused. Kicked repeatedly by blonde female outside that location, then dragged it inside. I wouldn't go there. That's fucking bullshit.
What does female mean? Like she may be a man?
I don't know. I don't even fucking know. Oh, there's some.
Okay. I have gone in 2 or 3 times with my friends, and I've gotten the worst service with no regard towards customers. Drinks are expensive. Girls are extremely full of themselves, despite being 8s at best. My God. The food is laughable. I would only suggest this place if you're wanting to spend a ton of dollars for what you would get at many other places. Also, topless only with 6 question marks? Really? This is Portland. The only redeemable part of this place was a couple of bartenders and cocktail waitresses who openly bashed the club dancers with us. We tipped them really well and left because it was clear that the drug dealers and the other unfavorable types being dealt with at the club without any sort of regulation. We headed to a few other clubs that were way better, but honestly, it was a blur after hitting the first one because they served real drinks there. Never again, with a huge ellipsis. Would have even given 0 stars, but it wouldn't have let me post. Oh God. Jesus. There it is. There's spice.
Yeah.
There
Spice.
What do you think about that?
Spice. It's good. I do like Matt D, who is the fucking owner. He's real dude.
The proprietor comes through. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he came through. I mean, on Casa Diablo, there was no fucking, oh, I'm sorry you felt this way. Matt D's like, get the fuck back, bitches.
Yep. Faux sure.
This needs to be not even in May. This needs to be a fucking thing. We need to find a fucking strip club a week.
Oh no, we have mega strip clubs to look at. Oh, for sure.
I know. Yes. I mean, yeah. So I will task Dave. So next week, folks, Dave's birthday is on Wednesday. We will be doing a How Was Your Day special. How Was Your Day? We've got Anthony coming in. We may have Papa Rock coming in to be on the show.
Let me know.
Yeah, we've got some things. But next Friday night, we will be doing. Dave found 2 names of OnlyFans models that have committed crimes. Michaela Rylersdam, and I don't know why I said it that way, Rylersdam, and Courtney Clenny. And we will be discussing Michaela Rylersdam and Courtney Clenny next week with I Am Dave on the show. Can we watch a little bit of the
OnlyFans so we can just get like?
I mean, you should. I'm sure Dave has already.
Okay. Well,
yeah. I mean, that's kind of his thing. But next Friday night will be the show with I Am Dave. This whole month was inspired by I Am Dave because he brought me these OnlyFans fucking murders.
Thanks, Dave.
And honestly, Masturbation Month is great. I don't know what we're gonna do to end it, but I think we should revisit Diddy with all the shit coming out on his trial.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's very salacious. It's very, it's very sex forward.
I'll put something in my back pocket.
But you know what I mean? We can talk about it, but I'm going to throw that out there. I'd like to maybe revisit Diddy at the very end of the month and maybe do some other things. But if we can, there's been some every fucking day since the trial started. We've had some, eye-opening things from the Diddy trial. I can't hear you.
Sure have. No, I know. Up their cough.
I know. You said sure have, and I'm like, nope, you didn't unmute. But maybe we'll just throw that out there. Hopefully, praying Rose can be here next week.
Hopefully.
I would love for all of us to be together. And then going forward, this has just been so much fun, AC.
For real. I learned a lot tonight. And
yeah. Oh my gosh, so much.
Yep.
I love a good
there's
story.
a whole, and then I implore people, if we, I don't know, now or the people watching or the people that watch in the future, if you guys want to take it a step further, I suggest you take a look at this. This is
great.
An incredible thing. And knowing that where NASA came from,
right?
It's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that it was pretty much started with a sex cult.
It's fucking great. It's fucking great.
Next week we'll review. We'll pick another raunchy city and we'll figure out.
We'll
another strip club to look at with Dave too.
Yes, maybe we do one from Omaha, and then one from Vegas.
I'll research the raunchiest one. I'll have a feeling you already know.
What, in Vegas or Omaha?
Omaha.
Yeah, there's not many here. So
Yeah, the raunchiest one though.
yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
I know you got that on your shirt.
It's probably the one that never mind. I never danced in one. I went to a bachelor party. Ended up at a strip club. The dancers topless on the fucking stage. I'm fully clothed in the fucking kind of cage thing on the side, and I probably made more money than the fucking girl on the stage. Actually, I did. I bought Skylar and I a few shots.
Well,
it was fun.
We have to hit up a strip club with you and Dave when you go on.
All right, folks. It's been a fun night. Keep joining in. We've got two more episodes of Killer Kinks and Cocktails. We will resume our regularly scheduled programming in June, but this has been a really fun month. In honor of Masturbation Month, as Masturbation Month, and we are doing some sexually driven crimes or true crime. We've done we've done sexual deviance, we've done we've deep dived into serial killers, we have talked about fucking vegan strip clubs, and tonight we did Jack Parsons, who was in a sex cult, and he is instrumental in the beginnings of NASA. So stay tuned. Next week we have the OnlyFans crimes with I Am Dave in honor of his birthday month. And it's been fun. If you guys have any suggestions going forward, if you want us to do a story, we'll definitely do that. Anything else to say?
I think you said it all. I think it's a lot to digest. I think everybody.
I tried.
Take a moment to digest and sit with what you learned.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week. If you have any comments, drop them down below. So
also, if you have a strip club you'd like us to look at the reviews on, let us know.
Maybe you left a strip club review that we should read about.
Yes.
Or let's all leave one together.
We should absolutely fucking do that. All right, folks. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend and a good week. I don't know what else to say. Bye.
Love you, Rose.
What's the end one? Oh, there it is.
You